What is meaning of being mad? A mad person is somebody who has really no idea what he's saying. कुछ भी पता नहीं. No idea what he's saying, what he's doing. Right? You get completely mad and lose control over yourself. So that means, do you want to get mad? Because when you get angry, it destroys the best part of human, right, and what is wrong. I'm just talking about the many types of destructive tendencies of anger alone. So if you try to highlight all the negative things that's done by these negative emotions, it is said you can talk for many lives. Similarly, attachment, jealousy. So you need to find that out yourself. Do the research, write down. And in terms of your financial loss, I have a book written by somebody. It's about America. It is said that America loses billions of dollars because of anger. Because of anger. Because when you get angry, there is shooting in the classroom, everywhere. Then there is accident due to road rage, right? Right? Very expensive. These negative emotions they destroy your name, your fame, your wealth, everything. If you want that, then continue. But I am sure nobody wants that. That's why we are here. Contrarily, if you have these positive emotions, not only you will be calmer and peaceful and honest and things like that, but because of that new way of life, you will save a lot of money. You will earn a lot of money. आजकल मनी के बारे में बोलना पड़ता है ना. Nowadays it is important to talk about money. Otherwise people think I only talking in हवा हवा में बात कर रहे है ना. समझ में आ गया? क्या समझा? सर कुछ नहीं समझा. I'm joking. ठीक है ना. So really you have to think like that. You see how it's beneficial in this very life. Oh, by the way, रोते रोते जलना पड़ता है. ठीक है ना. I rejoice in what was done, but now seeing this, now I know who you are. मैंने बोला था ना. But now seeing these mistakes from my heart, I declare them to the Buddhas. Whatever harmful acts of body, speech, and mind I have done in a disturbed mental state towards the three jewels of refuge, my parents, my spiritual masters, and others, and all the grave wrongs done by me, so thoroughly evil and polluted, but in abundance of faults, I openly declare the guides of the world. Now you need to purify them soon but I may well perish because it's possible that I may die before I'm able to purify them. But I may well perish before all my evils have been purified. Please protect me in such a way as will swiftly and surely free me from them. So therefore there's a teaching which says that you having committed a negative deed, you should not sleep with that negative deed. And in other way, these negative emotions are your enemy, right? So how will you feel comfortable sleeping with the enemy? So don't sleep with anger, don't sleep with jealousy, don't sleep with hatred and so forth. Right? Because don't postpone your practice. Do the good things right now, purify the negative things right now, because it's not sure how long you're going to live. Because the Lord of death will not see whether you have completed your project or not. They will come. Death is definite, time of death is indefinite. And at the time of the death, the only thing that can help you is if you have done something positive. None other is of any help. The untrustworthy Lord of death waits not for things to be done or undone. Whether I'm sick or healthy, this fleeting lifespan is unstable. Living all, I must depart alone. And when that death comes, you depart alone. Not only you can take your money, not only you can't take your relatives and friends, you cannot take even your body, which at least you brought when you came into this world. When you came into this world, at least you came with this body, right? But when you die, they'll say, leave the body behind. There will be a very tight security check. You must be hiding something in your body, leave it behind. Something like that is happening at the airport, right? Take out your shoes, take out your wallet, बोलता है ना आजकल, something like that. So you have to even leave your body behind. Living all, I must depart alone, but through not having understood this, I committed various kinds of evil for the sake of my friends and foes. My enemies will become nothing, meaning they will disappear. My friends will also go. I too will go. Likewise, everything will go, just like a dream experience. I mean, this is the process of life. Whatever things I enjoy will become a memory. Whatever has passed will not be seen again. Like for example, if you're a young man of say 20 years old, right? So in the past 20 years, you had a lot of experience, right? There may have been many times when you cried. There may have been many times when you enjoyed, right? Then slaved, then went for a walk, picnic, so many things. If you make a movie, it is 20-year long movie. But today, if you look back and think about those 20 years life's experiences, it is just a memory. Everything is gone, right? एक भी नहीं है ना आपके पास. Everything is gone. It is similar to the dream that you had last night. So why develop so much attachment? Why commit negative deeds in the name of friends, relatives, and so forth? Because if you commit negative deeds in the name of your friends, relatives, result you only have to experience. You can't ask your parents to share the fruit. There's a possibility they will definitely share, but there's no such possibility. Just like a dream experience, whatever things I enjoy will become memory. Whatever has passed will not be seen again. Even within this brief life, many friends and enemies have passed, died. You know? We read all the time in newspaper. If you read the obituary, such and such person has died. And these days on YouTube also you can see so many friends dying. And the death rate is like so quick if you use your mobile phone and see how many people are dying right now. They are dying like this, moving like this. Birth also like that, right? So that is the real story. But you don't have to get scared. But what is important is you. Okay, even within this life, brief life, many friends and enemies have died. But whatever unbearable evil I committed for them remains with me. Thereby, the problem is because thereby, through not having realized that I shall certainly vanish, I committed so much evil out of ignorance, lust, and hate. So that means all this problem arose because you always thought you are going to stay forever. Now, right now, I'll buy this house, I will build this shop, I'll do this, I'll do that, and then thinking that I will live long, long life. When I say this, I'm not saying don't build house, don't build shop. You can do this, but with the realization, I don't know how long this will like, but right now I need. So you will only come up with those things which is really necessary, not so much, not unnecessary embellishment. The problem is we want more than what we want because we compete with others. We become jealous with others. This my fellow has built three-story. Why don't we build a three-story? They have like five servants. We have only three servants. That's exactly what's happening right now in Ladakh because Ladakh is changing very fast and everybody is seeing each other. उसने इतना मकान बना लिया हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं है that's wrong. Buddhism is not against development, not against progress. Buddhism is saying for the well-being of the society, the masses, you should come up with a big projects, big plan. But for you as an individual, you don't need much. And actually, it will be easier for your life. If you have just one nice house with minimum facilities, bathroom, all this chahiye, bathroom and kitchen, those, do it properly, nicely, sunshine, proper sunshine, proper ventilation, जो चाहिए, have everything. But don't embellish it, Golden roof. क्या करेंगे golden roof? It's actually inviting thieves and robbers. Yes, thieves and robbers and poor people are really waiting for an opportunity to steal things. And if you want more and more, you also have to work more and more. फिर क्या करेंगे आप? You work like a donkey and then die, right? So don't compete with others. And if people say, "Oh, she is not very rich. Oh, she is from a not so rich family," does that hurt you? Does that hurt you if somebody says, "Oh, she is not from very rich family," or even somebody says she is poor? Does that hurt you? Huh? Sometimes maybe, right? But no need to get hurt. If somebody says you are poor, you should say, "Yes, I'm very poor." So what? Are you going to give me some money? Really? And then you can also challenge by saying, what do you mean by being poor? I may be having a little bit less money, but in terms of my thinking, I'm rich. I've not harmed anybody. I've not stolen from anybody. So I'm rich. And all those inner qualities that I've developed, and it will help me remain happy. When I die, also I'll take those qualities with me. You rich people, when you are going to die, when you die, are you going to take this building with you? सारा मकान अब ले जाएगा, right? So I'm not saying don't make development, but I mean it's not only in Ladakh. Everywhere, it's human beings are like this. Even in the monasteries, they do it. If one monastery builds one big assembly, the other wants to build a bigger one. These are wrong, absolutely wrong. Then even some so-called lamas, and they live in a house which is really like a palace. What are you teaching normally to others? You teach, we have contentment. Where is your contentment? I'm a little bit like revolting. Once I was in South India with His Holiness. So His Holiness was probably teaching or something. But anyway, I with some of the monks there, we were just in the veranda looking at some of these buildings that you can see around. Some of them are like almost like being near a resort near the beach. Then I said, "Who this building belongs to? Such and such Rinpoche, such and such Lama." So then said, "Now I strongly regret." So these the local monks, they said, what do you regret? I regret because I spent my whole life studying and I have nothing. Look at these people. They are so like living in such fancy building. So I was making this remark in a sarcastic way. Really? No, that is really. But then the problem is, if I live like a poor man, nobody will come to me. So you want more people come to you, respect you. So therefore you need big building, nice food to keep. So in Dharamsala also nobody comes to see me because I live in a small house given by the library, and that building is like one floor and cracking everywhere, old building. I'm not saying that I'm somebody who's very contented. I'm not saying I'm a great practitioner, but at least I try to be happy with what I have. That's good for me actually. Based on my own experiences, good for me. And I also not try to don't try to invite so many people. I mean, it's not that people hate me and don't want to come, but I'm not like very keen inviting everybody come. If I do that, then I'll spend all my time meeting people. So therefore, I prefer more isolation, where I have my. They say, Kishila, you look quite young. So they say when people make such a statement, you should be very careful. They are saying you look young, meaning how old you are. You know, you look young. If somebody is really young, you don't have to say you look young. So don't see this as a compliment. So, but it's important to mentally remain young. So love is ebbing out, remaining, not waiting for a second. From the time you joined this retreat yesterday until now, one day is already gone. Life is always slipping by and never getting any longer. Why will death not come to one like me? Ekbar, there was one gentleman who was like any of us walking in the marketplace. ऐसे देख रहा हम लोग करता है ना बाजार में जाके घूम रहा है देख रहा है ना so we go to the market and check things slowly and somebody tapped him from the behind and he looked back and saw the messenger of death standing there. He was horrified. Then the messenger of death said, "Don't get horrified. I'm looking for someone else. Your time is next Tuesday." Then he said, "Thank God, I still have some time." Then he really started running, left that place and started running and running and running and running towards the mountain. Then he found one cave there. So he went inside the depth of that cave and hid himself there. So he's supposed to be taken on Tuesday, right? So until Tuesday, nobody came. And he got so much courage because there's no sign of anybody. On Tuesday morning, he thought, now I'm okay. He just came out of the cave and craned his neck and I made it. Then somebody tapped him from the behind. Expressed his shock. How did you find me here? And the messenger death, he said, don't express that shock. I'm equally shocked because the Lord of death told me to pick you from here, but you were standing in the marketplace last time. So like that. Meaning that when the time for death comes, it will come anywhere. There's no place where you can hide. Amidst the mountain, in the depth of the sea, you know, anywhere, right? So that's why he's saying, while lying in bed peacefully, although surrounded by friends, relatives, the feeling of life being spared will not experienced by me alone. That means when you are dying, when you are losing your life, even if you are surrounded by all relatives and friends, they will not experience that experience of death by you. You only will have to experience it. When seized by the messenger of the death, what benefit will friends and relatives afford? My merit alone shall protect me then, but upon that I have never relied. So you regret in the sense that the only thing that can protect you is if you've done something good. But if you realized that you have not done that also, then you develop more fear. O protectors, I so unconcerned, unaware of such terror as this, accumulated a great deal of evil for the sake of the transient life. For the sake of the transient life. See, look at this. The life itself is transient. There's not much meaning. So you should not really plan to live forever. But this is what you've done. You have no time for practice. You have no time for meditation. You have not even good time for food. There are people who are so hurry, such in such a great hurry. They say, okay, I'll eat later. Right now, I have to go. They don't even have proper time to eat. क्या कर रहा है? What are you doing now? And in today's world, everybody thinks to be busy is a great thing. I am very busy. It has become a fashion to say that I'm very busy, meaning you are important. Is it important to be busy? It is not important to be busy. So are the bees are also very busy. It's important to be busy. What is important is what are you doing about. That's important. In the Buddhist teaching also says if you're doing something for benefiting others, then it's good to be busy. Otherwise, you work hard, okay, but you should always get time to take rest, enjoy your life, not always working. मैंने ये काम करना है. I have to finish this one. I have to finish this one. But unfortunately, there never had a person until now who said, I've completed all the projects, now I'm dying peacefully. Because unfinished work is like old man's beard. The more you pick, the more it will grow. Unfinished work is like the waves on the ocean. One wave goes, another wave comes. One wave goes, another wave comes. So therefore, the only way to finish the work is to stop it. बस हो गया, बहुत हो गया, right? So through that, we should try to, you know, find out the meaning of human life, what it means to be human being. What are the special things that you can do as a human being, right? Petrified is the person today being led to a torture chamber, whether there's a real torture chamber or not, but you develop that fear with dry mouth. When you're scared, then your mouth also dries and your dreadful sunken eyes. His entire appearance is transfigured. What need to mention the tremendous despair when stricken with the disease of great pain, great panic, being clasped by the physical forms of the frightful messengers of death. I mean, I don't. It's not necessary that some frightful messengers are there waiting to catch you. Not necessary, but you will experience those frights as a result of doing negative things. Who can afford me real protection from this great horror? With terrified, bulging eyes agape, I shall search the four quarters for refuge, but seeing no refuge, because the only way to protect yourself is by your own karma deed. Nobody can protect you. I am enveloped in gloom. If there should be no protector there, then what shall I be able to do? Therefore, I now seek refuge in the Buddhas who protect the world, who strive to shelter all the lives, and with great strength eradicate all fear. Likewise, I purely seek refuge in the Dharma they have realized that clears away the fears of cyclic existence, and also in the assembly of Bodhisattvas. I, trembling with fear, offer myself to Samantha Badra, to Manju Gosha, also I make a gift of my body. To the protector Avalokiteshvara, who infallibly acts with compassion, I utter a mournful cry, please protect this evil doer. In my search for refuge, I cry from my heart for Akash Garbha, Shiti Garbha, and all the compassionate protectors. Man, you are too late. At the time of the death, you say Akash Garbha, Manjushri, nobody will come. So if you want to be protected by them, you should have practiced when you are alive. You should be familiar with them. Then they will come. It's like this. For example, if you did not make friendship with anybody, the human friendship, then when you're in trouble, when you are suffering, if you call people, will they come? Very unlikely. But if you made a lot of friends, then at the time you have problem, you're trouble, they will come and help you like that, you see. But at least with the kindness of these great teachers, you might get some solace. And I seek refuge in Vajrapani. Vajrapani is such a powerful deity, upon the sight of whom all harmful beings, such as the messengers of death, flee in terror in the fourth quarters. Previously, I transgressed your advice, but now, upon seeing this great fear, I go to you for refuge. By doing so, may this fear be swiftly cleared. What? Tak olives, yeah. Okay. I'll read a few more verses. If I need to comply with the doctor's advice when frightened by a common illness, then how much more so when perpetually diseased by the manifold evils of desire and so forth? Is that clear? Even when you get a minor disease, you have to go to the doctor. If this is so, now you are disturbed by all these horrible negative emotions, and then of course you need to have this willingness to listen to the teachings of the Buddha. And the result of these negative emotions is so powerful. And if all people dwelling on this earth can be overcome just by one of these negative emotions, and if no other medicine to cure them is to be found elsewhere in the universe, I've been telling people that right now we have over 8 billion human beings, over 8 billion, big population, right? All this over 8 billion human population are all dead in 100 years counting from today. Isn't that frightening a little bit? Or you get frightened a little bit? I don't think so. You are a bunch of brave people. Huh? But I'm just telling you the truth. Over 8 billion human population, which is right now, will be dead from 100 years from now. Why we need to know this? If for example, if I'm 100% sure I'm going to die tonight, if I'm 100% sure I'm going to die tonight, then is it right that I engage in corruption, or will I start such negative emotions? I'll bully her, I'll exploit her, I'll steal, I'll harm, I'll hurt. All these negative emotions will not come because it doesn't make any sense. So that's why after enlightenment, the first teaching that the Buddha gave us on the Four Noble Truths, out of which the first was truth of suffering. And when he was explaining the truth of suffering, the first feature was impermanence and death. Because once you understand this fragile human life, transient human life, it doesn't make any sense to harm other people. That's the point, you see. Now look at the whole situation today. People are always trying to take advantage of each other, harm each other, bully each other, right? And try to bask in the bubble glory, right? So if people really develop this understanding, that's why the Buddhist teachings, they say you don't have to kill people, they'll die. This is called wisdom. You don't have to create suffering because people are already suffering. What you need to do is help them get peace, get happiness because of this fragile situation, right? Then the intention not to act in accordance with the advice of the all-knowing physician, that's Buddha, that can uproot every misery. I mean, listen to his teaching. remove all these negative emotions, then all miseries will be gone. And if you don't listen to that, then it's extremely bewildered and worthy of scorn. Why? Because if I need to be careful near a small ordinary precipice or cliff, then how much more so near the one of long duration that drops for 1,000 miles? And it is inappropriate to enjoy myself thinking that today alone I shall not die. For inevitably the time will come when I shall become nothing. I will be gone. That can come anytime. But most of us, we don't have that acceptance. We all think I will live, I will live. You go and ask this question to somebody who is very old, say over 90 years. Genla, are you going to die? Then he will say, of course, I'm very old, I'm going to die very soon. Genla, do you think are you going to die tomorrow? Tomorrow, maybe not. This is how we think, you know. I'll not die today, I'll not do that, I'll not die today, I'll not die. Right? So because of this grasping to permanence, you think about making big plans, big buildings, this, that, you know. So therefore, who can grant me this fearlessness that I will not die? If you look at our fragile body, how can I be surely freed from this if I shall inevitably become nothing? How can I relax and enjoy myself? I mean, these are actually meant for very serious practitioners. But probably this doesn't mean that you should not smile and laugh and do not enjoy. I don't think that's the meaning. But the meaning is without having this understanding of imminence of death, if you relax and enjoy, that is wrong, right? What remains with me now from the terminated experience of the past? Terminated experience of the past, so many things you have experienced in the past, but what is there left today? But through my great attachment to them, I have been going against my spiritual master's advice. Having departed from this life and from all my friends and relatives, if all alone I must go elsewhere, what is the time? What is the use of making friends and enemies? Right? I mean, that also is not saying you don't make friendship, but in the long run, none of these people will be able to help you. Even in this world, for example, when you say travel to a long distance, not many people can come with you. In many cases, you have to go alone. So at that time, you should have that knowledge and money, whatever, to be able to take care of yourself. So similarly, when you die, you go alone. You should have those spiritual qualities which will protect you. Right? How can I be surely freed from unwholesomeness, negative deeds, the source of misery? Continually, night and day, should I only consider this? So it is important to consider how can I get liberated from the clutch of negative existence. This is a point that you should think repeatedly. Whatever has been done by me through ignorance and unknowing, be it the breaking of a vow or a deed by natural wrong, nature wrong. Nature wrong means if you kill somebody, that's a sin for everybody, whether you have vow or not, right? Then there are other things, for example, somebody as a monk breaks particular vows, then that is a negative deed for that monk because that monk or nun said that I'll not do it to a commitment, therefore it's a negative deed. But those are the lay people who had not taken their own, that is not a negative deed. I humbly confess it all in the presence of protectors with folded hands, prostrating myself again and again, just like you have again and again. You have to do all these practices again and again. My mind terrified by the misery to come. I beseech all the guides of the world to please accept my evils and wrongs, since these are not good. In future, I shall do them no more. From the Bodhisattva way of life, this is chapter 2. Again, this is wrong. This is chapter 2. What is chapter? This is chapter 2, closer, disclosure of evil. Full acceptance of awakening mind is the next chapter. Okay, so I stop here. Now it is your time to attack me with your bows and sticks and whatever. Okay, पूछिए.
Um, I also have an anger issue.
Hmm?
So whenever I was in anger, then at that time, a lot of negative words came out of my mouth,
Hmm?
and I feel, instantly I feel regret.
Hmm?
But still, I'm unable to control the emotions of anger, and I feel very helpless. So, uh, how to tackle such
You
condition?
can't tackle negative emotions easily. They will not go away just by one signal because we are habituated with those kind of emotions very strongly. And also, the body's mechanism is such that these negative emotions are supposed to be protected. In Buddhism, we are talking about long-term happiness. That's why we say get rid of all these things. But if you don't talk about the Buddhist practice, then some of these so-called negative emotions are there to supposed to be protecting you. If somebody bullies you, get angry, protect yourself, right? If you can't protect yourself, then run away, things like that. But in the long run, we all know it's very destructive, very destructive. Therefore, you should, as soon as the anger is over, you should think it was not a pleasant experience for me and also for others. So I should reduce this. Then you fail one time, fail two times, fail three times. Gradually, not only Buddhist teaching, but your life's experience will tell you anger is not good. Life's experience.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Freed myself. Yes.
So my question is that uh, so my question is that I mean like when people die,
Huh?
so when people die, like most of the times they die because of their
Because
like
of
uh, because of their karma and all. And I also had one more thing to ask you. That suppose if a good person who had indeed good karma in his past, and he tries to save another person, but instead that person whom he saves he gets saved, but the person saving he dies initially. So is it because of his he had his karma, so like why he had to die? I mean like, and he was also helping another. So how is that? How that makes
people don't die because of karma alone.
yes.
People die because their lifespan has come to an end. People die because their merit has exhausted. People die because they had accidents. This is all clearly explained in the text. So therefore, if you like drive rashly and then you accident and before it's your time die, you die. It's not just karma, conditions, right? So therefore, in order to live long, you also need to collect merit.
Yes, sir. Yeah, one more question, last
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So like, if he's like saving the person, but he had like bad karma in his past, but he gets saved, so also
Yeah,
this
there may also be condition, cause and condition, also karma. Both are possible. Mm. यहाँ है, यहाँ बहुत सारा हाथ हिल रहा है। हाथ उठाएगा नहीं उठाएगा पता नहीं, हाथ हिल रहा है। ऐसे कर रहा है, ऐसे ऐसा नहीं करता।
Geshila, what's the reasons to make limited friendships?
What?
What's the reasons?
What is the reason? What is the reason that you should have limited friend?
Friendship.
I mean, I was just suggesting, it will be more convenient. But if you want many, many friends, it's okay. It's okay. You make any, and that's what Buddhist teachings are saying. Make all your sentient beings your friends. This one, big way of thinking. But ordinary people at ordinary level may not be able to handle it. That's what I'm saying. So therefore, start small. Just like starting a business, start small, right?
So my second question is that what is your advice to the people who always say I'm busy? Because
Who?
what is your advice to the people
Uh,
who always say I'm busy?
yeah.
So even my circles, I have a lot of friends. They always say I'm very busy. I'm very busy. Even I know they are not busy, but they always say I'm busy. I'm busy.
Then let them be happy with that, right? If that person is a very close friend to you, then you should tell them, yeah, the bees are also very busy. I told you, not important to be busy, so are the bees,
Thank you.
right? And the one very pertinent thing that you should tell your friend is, my dear friend, you may be very busy, but the time to take rest is when you have no time to take rest. You should give that advice, meaning that you should take rest. Yeah.
हाँ, चपल के शिला
Mm,
मेरा ये सवाल है कि ज़्यादातर हम स्टूडेंट्स या स्टूडेंट्स टेम्पल्स में ज़्यादातर नहीं जाते हैं मेरे ख्याल से
mm.
क्योंकि ज़्यादातर टेम्पल्स में मॉन्क्स ही प्रेयर करते हैं और मेरा सवाल ये है कि अ, हम अगर रेगुलर बेसिस पे टेम्पल्स में जाए या टेम्पल्स में जाना या स्तूपस विजिट करना या मानस कोरा करना मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि अ, ये टेम्पल्स में जाते ही हमारा एक पॉजिटिव थॉट आता है।
Yes, true.
फिर रेगुलर बेसिस पे हर रोज़ हम अगर टेम्पल्स में जाएँ तो फिर हम हमारा अपना वो जो नेगेटिव थॉट्स है वो कम होके पॉजिटिव थॉट्स में रेगुलर बेसिस पे जाएँ तो वो हो सकता है ये
हो सकता है।
कुछ
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल। The reason some young people or many young people don't want to go to uh, temples and things like that is they think this is outdated, not fashionable. फैशनेबल तो कहाँ है मार्केट में, हाँ, दारू पियो और if you don't have much money then potato chips खाओ, ठीक है ना? So people think this is more suitable to young people than going to the temple. If you go to the temple, then people might think, are you a monk or an old person? So only old people and monks should go to. So they think something like that. But here my suggestion is Even if you don't go to temple, but you are genuinely practicing, then you don't have to go to temple. But if you pretend, just say it's important to do practice, then go to the temple, and you also don't do the practice, you don't go to the temple, then this is worst of the worst. This is called pakhandi. You are pretending you are doing practice, but you don't practice. Mentally don't practice, and you also don't go to temple. Like monks, why they wear this one? This we bought from the market. We wear. Why the armies wear uniform? Why the school kids wear school uniform? Right? Why those people who work in hospitals and hotels they have uniform? The purpose of this uniform is to remind you that you are an army man, that you are a monk, you have your dedicated responsibility, right? So these are reminders. You can be very destructive and naughty even after wearing this. There's no guarantee that you will become a good person just by wearing this, but these are reminder. This will help you remind. So similarly, occasionally, if you go to temple, stupa, that means you want to do some practice. So it is helpful in that sense. Okay.
July. Uh, when we are angry, we often say the hurtful things to the other person, which we don't mean sometimes. But the other person is already hurt, so and might not trust us again. So how to gain that trust again?
Is it important to gain the trust of that person?
Yeah.
Huh? It depends, you know. Sometimes if you try to please everybody, you will please nobody. So if unintentionally if you hurt somebody, you should go and say, I did not mean it. Please forgive me. Then I hope that person will forgive you. And then you will regain your trust. And if that person is not forgiving, then you say, go, जाओ अपना रास्ता नापो मेरे पास बहुत सारा काम है तो
Geshe, how should we deal with low self-esteem that comes with cultivating bodhicitta? Like, if you think I'm just an ordinary human, and where is bodhicitta and where is me? How do we close the gap?
That's very easy. मेरे पास उसका सारा नुस्खा है अभी मैं झोले से निकल के दे दूँ I'm joking, I'm joking. Buddha was also an ordinary person. He was also like you and me. Then he saw the importance of karuna, importance of bodhicitta. He made attempt. Then he became better and better. So one thing that you need to know is not only in terms of cultivation of bodhicitta, but in all kinds of activities, you need to know that you are the only true original copy in this whole world. You are not photocopy. You are the only true original copy, each of you. Meaning, you have your own special capacity. Don't ignore that capacity. You don't have to have the capacity of Bill Gates or other rich people, president, prime minister. Just now I was reading one piece in the mobile phone during lunchtime, and it said 45% of the chief ministers in India are all corrupt and have very bad background. See? So there are people like that. So we are not all same. So you have that capacity to become good. The only thing is you need to recognize that potential that's lying with you. The problem with us is we always think, oh, बिल गेट इसके पास तो पैसा इतना है, मैं ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? कभी नहीं हो सकता है। नहीं होने से फिर क्या होगा? It's not really important that you become Bill Gates or this president, this prime minister. You're a different model. You're from a different company. The problem with us is we only try to imitate others and try to become like that person. As a result of this imitation, the clever people, they run companies, big companies, and make all of us like computer parts. They make one computer and then duplicate it, thousands of computers, and similarly, parts of that computer, which you can sell all over the world, which you can buy from all over the world. And similarly, men are now trained like the computer parts, saying she's expert on this, she's expert on this. So you do the same thing. We are not computer parts. While for your survival, you may have to do certain things, but you should always realize that you have special capacity, special talent. Discover that. Discover that. That's very, very important. And in fact, the meaning of education means not somebody like a teacher giving something, putting something in your mind. That's not education. Education means bringing all the potentials in you out. That's why thinkers like Einstein, he said, these days teachers bring havoc in the life of the children. They always ask what the children don't know. They never help them bring their potential out, right? So all of us have different potential, and you can use that talent, that potential. Okay, next question.
This is like Yankar,
Mm,
Keshala.
mm,
So my question is, Keshala, so whatever emotions and whatever instincts that we have inside is lies in our subconscious,
mm.
Keshala. And most of the, like, if we are angry, even if we know that consciously anger is bad for us, we can't control getting angry or jealousy, all of those destructive emotions, Keshala. So my question is, can we how can we alter that subconscious self of ourselves, Keshala?
Practice, 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 practice. No shortcut solution. Because right now your habituation with negative emotions is strong. Therefore, they are ready to come out any moment. Habituation with positive emotions is weak, very difficult to come out even when you make effort. So therefore, now if you practice, practice and lessen this side and strengthen this side, it will come up. Then gradually you will become like His Holiness Dalai Lama. Positive emotions will come all the time. Negative emotions hardly there. It's all dependent upon practice.
So the conscious mind has the power to
Yeah, the
subdue the.
print, conscious mind, then subconscious, whatever you call it. Basically, you have this imprints down.
Yes.
So you need to strengthen the positive imprints and weaken the negative imprints.
And does how big of a role does meditation
Meditation
plays?
not only big role, meditation is the only way. So meditation means habituation. Habituation with what? With negative deeds, negative emotions? No. Because in the case of negative emotions, your habituation is already very strong. You're already highly advanced practitioner in the case of negative emotions. So therefore, habituation means habituation with positive emotions. So meditation, as I said, is not sitting in a corner, closing your eye, observing certain physical postures. Meditation means basically whether you're sitting, going, whatever, make your mind habituated with karuna, compassion, love, wisdom. There's meditation.
One last
Hmm.
question.
I'm so happy to hear this word. One last question. because after that I'm going to get a nice cup of tea.
How to deal with self-doubt and insecurities?
How to?
Deal with self-doubt,
Self-doubt. Self-doubt. What do we mean by self-doubt?
like some kind of insecurity.
Insecurity from what? Somebody is
From
threatening you? Oh. Huh? So in order to remove that insecurity, as I mentioned earlier, we should have confidence. Confidence meaning, yes, I can do it. For example, open one book and read this. If you don't know the meaning, then you might think, oh, I'm not good. I don't know the meaning and give up. No. Consult the dictionary, consult your mobile phone, consult teachers, then you will know it. Oh, if I make an attempt, I can know it. So with this kind of collection of knowledge, you will become stronger and stronger. You will become more and more confident. Just like your body. If you want to make your body strong, you need to do exercise. Then your muscles will become strong. If you just sit there, I'm physically not very strong. Sit like there, don't do any exercise. The muscles will stop functioning. They'll become weaker, 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 weaker. Right? So you need to exercise both your brain and only your body. Karate, lagao. So sometimes they say, really, sometimes they say, you know, to get proper education, sometimes doing, you know, playing sports, doing physical exercise, it will strengthen. You should do a little bit of that. Take care. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.